Yo, what's up everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we've got some great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with Kingdom Hearts 3. This game is getting some nice additional content post-release. Now, according to Dengeki Online, which published a brand new interview with Tetsuya Nomura, Kingdom Hearts 3 will be getting a critical mode and feature downloadable content that will come in free and paid versions. So let's go ahead and get right into what Tetsuya Nomura had to say. Quote, "As far as I can see of the specific data, including the download version, sales numbers were good and far beyond my own expectations. We're currently working on downloadable content, so I don't quite have the feeling that we finished yet, and I've been sleeping less post-release. Before, critical mode was not in the original versions, but in the final mix versions of the Kingdom Hearts games, so this time we're going to release it as an update at a later date. It's not about simply changing the numerical value to be stronger. We're readjusting and debugging rather than just making it more difficult. We're making adjustments to pinpoint a level of fun unique to critical mode. There is all sorts of speculation in regards to the secret movie, but it isn't so simple that can be understood at this point in time. While we've previously prepared for final mix versions as separate packages, this time I want to add all additional elements through downloadable content from what can be done through additional updates, but we're also planning paid downloadable content to release several elements together as a batch. That being said, paid downloadable content will take a little while to produce, while I would like to finish within the year and have the team move on to its next work. Now, as for future Kingdom Hearts series games, while we've had various discussions whether there will be anything or whether we do something is still up in the air, I already have a full schedule for the rest of the year. So there you go, guys. Some cool information when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3 and what you can expect from the future of this game. And I feel that it's awesome that they're going to be adding in the critical mode, because a lot of people complain that the game wasn't hard enough. Well, you're going to get that extra difficulty, and it's not just going to be, oh, this enemy hits you and it does more. They're actually going to be readjusting things in order to coincide with that difficulty. So that's going to be pretty cool. Almost maybe like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you have like some of the harder enemies at the very beginning of the game, or maybe they do a little bit more than what you would expect for a hard mode to have. So I'm all down for that. Also, the paid downloadable content, that's going to be cool for those who want to continue their experience. It's cool when developers put in smart paid downloadable content that is clearly made after the game was released, so that's good. And also free downloadable content as well as part of updates making the game better. So this is all good information when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are enjoying the game and are having fun with it. I'm going to pick up Kingdom Hearts 3 at some point. I just don't know when, because just like Nomura said that his schedule is full, my schedule is full when it comes to games. So what do you guys think about Kingdom Hearts 3 and what they're adding with the critical mode, paid downloadable content, free downloadable content as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, the Resident Evil Origins collection on the Nintendo Switch is causing a little bit of a problem with fans, because not only is this game not on the same cart when it comes to the Switch version of it, but the game is going to be $59.99 according to some retail listings already posted to where you can pre-order. I did see this myself on Amazon, and there's also other listings as well that shows that this game, the Origins Collection, which comes with Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1 Remastered, both of those have the HD visuals and all that. It's not the original release or like the GameCube release or the Wii release or anything like that. So it is the upgraded ones, but they're gonna cost $60 for this. So that's very unfortunate, because back when these games launched on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they were $39.99 for this. So they are putting up quite the bit of charge when it comes to it. Now, this gets into all different types of situations and things in terms of how people think. Some people are upset that they don't have all the games on the cart, and they're like, okay, well, I'm willing to pay $60 if I get all the games on the cart and not have a download code for Resident Evil 1 like they're doing with this one. But some people said, well, wait a minute here, it's the price. Like if the price was like, let's say $29.99 for these games, it'd be a no-brainer even with the games being split up like this. So it just depends on who you talk to and what you want to get out from these games, or how you like to consume or play your games in terms of the physical packaging. But I think that all of us can agree that $60 for these games, and these being old ports, is maybe a little bit too much. But I think at the end of the day, like I've always said when it comes to value and stuff, just wait. Like if it's not worth 60, then the market will determine that, right? These games are going to come out and people aren't going to buy it. If it's not worth that price, they're not going to buy it, and then the price will go down. We've seen this with various other games before. Third-party games, this happens all the time. Or maybe a game is worth that, but people don't pick it up for whatever reason, and the price goes down. So when it comes to the pricing of Resident Evil games, or just be it old ports, I never get all bent out of shape if a game is like 60 bucks. Like I remember like Skyrim, that game launched for 60 bucks on the PS4 and Xbox One. It had all the DLC and everything, and people, at least some people, were like, oh, why is it 60 bucks? They're old and blah, blah, blah. But if you just waited, it went all the way down to like as low as like $17. Same thing goes for Skyrim on the Switch. I mean, you can get it for lower now at this point. So I think that if it's too expensive, then you can just wait for the price to go down. But I think it's right for people to say, yo, I mean, why are these kind of pricey? 60 bucks for this is a bit steep, for some. And I understand their complaints, and I understand what they're talking about here. We'll see if this is just a placeholder, because people have also brought up that point, like, hey, this might just be a placeholder for the time being, and then it's going to go down to $39.99 or something else. But knowing Capcom, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that at all. I just know that I'll probably wait to pick these up. These weren't day one games for me either way. Even if it was cheaper, wasn't a day one game for me, because I know that if I wait just a few months, I can probably just get it cheaper, and I've already played these games and bought these games multiple times. It's the same thing with Resident Evil 4. I never rush out and buy Resident Evil 4 day one on any system it's been re-released on. I just wait, and then it ends up being cheaper later because I've already played the game. There's no need for me to rush out there and buy it day one and pay full price for it. So that's my thought process on this. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, the Pokemon Company has revealed that there will be more Pokemon announcements in 2019 or later in 2019, but we don't know exactly what type of format that is going to take. This was stated during the recent Pokemon Direct, and I feel that this could be interpreted in multiple different ways, which people actually asked me questions about this on my live streams and stuff, and I said, well, they could be talking about the anime, they could be talking about the movies, they could be talking about the trading card game. I mean, there's all sorts of avenues that they can go, but I'll give you one avenue that I want them to go in. I think that there is a market out there for a Pokemon Puzzle League. I think there's a market out there for Pokemon Snap. I think there's a market out there for Pokken Tournament. Those are three different or spin-offs of the mainline Pokemon or the Pokemon brand that I think a lot of people would love to see on the Nintendo Switch. And we already have Pokken Tournament, which is cool, but that is a port of the Wii U game. I think it'd be really dope if they made a Pokken Tournament 2 and actually increased the Pokemon count to like 30 to 40 Pokemon. That would be really nice in the game, made the vistas and locations better, expanded the online play, expanded the single player. I would love for there to be a Pokken Tournament 2. That was actually one of my favorite fighting games on the Wii U and on the Nintendo Switch. I think a Pokemon Snap, for example, could be very beneficial to what just the style of Pokemon is. Imagine having a Pokemon Snap, but you actually have to go outside, kind of like Pokemon Go, to snap certain pictures of Pokemon, having some AR or whatever built into the original story and the original thing. So you don't have to go outside if you don't want to, but if you want to go outside, you can kind of integrate those type of elements with the Nintendo Switch being a hybrid system. So I think that could be really cool. And then of course, Pokemon Puzzle League. I mean, puzzle games are still really popular. Look at Tetris 99. People have been playing that like crazy. So if we got something like a Pokemon Puzzle League that was on the Nintendo Switch eShop in terms of, let's say like the Nintendo Online, and if you have the Nintendo Online, you get Pokemon Puzzle League for free, like a new version of Pokemon Puzzle League on the Switch, that would be really dope as well. So I think that there's lots of different ways that they can go. I know there's some people out there that love Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and games like that. So we'll see what the Pokemon Company is talking about. Something tells me that it's like trading cards and other stuff like that, but maybe we get a tease or we get something else when it comes to a spin-off of Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch outside of the mainline Pokemon game, Pokemon Sword and Shield. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think the Pokemon Company is planning in addition to the mainline games? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, Granblue Fantasy ReLink recently got some new information on the game, how they're targeting 60 frames per second, the flow of the combat that they're going to have in the game, and much more. This was in a recent interview with Twinfinite, and the producer of the game talked about it. And it's interesting because remember, Platinum Games is no longer developing on this game, and it's all side games at this point. So this is the first time that they've talked about the game since the whole departure of Platinum Games. When they first started with on choosing characters, as it is a story-driven RPG, we want to make sure the characters are the most iconic. On downloadable content characters are included in our plans, but details cannot be discussed. On characters Characters like Lancelot, Charlotta, and Percival are still in the game. Granblue Fantasy ReLink is aiming for 60 frames per second, but may settle at 30 frames per second depending on the final visuals. That being said, as mentioned, our goal for now is to have it running at 60 frames per second. They also talked about unique elements in the game, but it's going to be more accessible than a game like Granblue Fantasy Versus, which is the fighting game that's in development from Arc System Works. On job changing, they said that job changing is not present in the game because it would take so much resources and data to do that, and they want fully fleshed out characters. Not on the release window. This is probably the most important thing here, right? I want to talk about when we're going to get our hands on this game. So Granblue Fantasy ReLink was previously planned for 2018, but is currently without a release window. The project became more and more massive, and Cygames didn't want to make compromises on the quality, so it chose to delay the game. At the moment, it doesn't have a release date because we've already delayed it once. We never ever want to do it again. So there you go. I think that's smart. Don't put a release date on it if you're still adjusting things. And to me, this interview kind of tells me that there was more things that kind of happened with the development of this game with Platinum coming off than before. They don't even have a set frame rate that they're targeting. Usually you do that type of stuff at the beginning. Usually you have that set down like, okay, we're going to go for 60 and we're going to develop this game based on that. We're going to go for 30. We're going to develop our game based on that. The fact that they still don't know after this game has already been around for how many years now? More than a year that we've known about this game, and they're still deciding 60 or 30. I don't know about that one, Chief. That doesn't sound very good to me. It seems like this game is still well off, and they even talked about potentially it being on the PS5 as well. Check out the full interview if you want to hear more about that and other stuff they talked about when it comes to certain characters from the Granblue Fantasy franchise. But it seems to me like there's some issues going on, and there's a lot of stuff behind the closed doors that we don't know about. So don't expect this game anytime soon, guys, and don't be surprised if this is a PS5 game as well, because it's not looking that great at this point based on this interview, based on that whole 30 to 60 frames per second thing. That thing got me spooked at this point, so I don't know. So what do you guys think about this Granblue Fantasy RPG? Are you guys still excited for this one? When do you think it's going to be coming out, and what do you think happened with Platinum Games? Is there anything else that was behind the closed doors now that Platinum is not on the game? Do you think they had to restart some of the development? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here. Once again, the Devil May Cry 5 producer and director want to see Devil May Cry, the franchise, on the Nintendo Switch. So during a recent interview by Express, the director and the producer talked about how they love the Nintendo Switch and they want to see the franchise on the system. Here's what they had to say. Quote, "We haven't announced anything for Switch, right? We personally would love to play a Devil May Cry game on Switch. I'm one of those guys that I want to play everything on Switch. I'm either asking for ports. Either way, we haven't announced anything for Switch, so let's wait and see what happens." So it seems like they're kind of foreshadowing maybe there will be an announcement, maybe potentially at E3, that we get maybe some of the older games, because he talked about ports and stuff. I don't know about Devil May Cry 5 because Capcom at this point still hasn't put any of the RE engine games on the Nintendo Switch. All we've gotten is the MT framework and older type of games, right? We haven't seen anything from the RE engine, which is Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2, the remake, and also Devil May Cry as well. We haven't seen anything from there, so I'm not sure if Devil May Cry 5 is going to be one of those games, but if they do eventually put Devil May Cry on the Nintendo Switch, I think they'll do well enough depending on how Capcom treats it. We all know how Capcom is with these games. They put like one of them on the cartridge and split up. We just talked about Resident Evil in this same video here, so I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think that like the Devil May Cry trilogy would be nice, or even like Devil May Cry 4 would be pretty cool. Maybe they do something like they did with Resident Evil and they split it up. They do Devil May Cry trilogy on like physical or whatever, then they do Devil May Cry 4 digital download on the Switch. Maybe they have that in the works. I mean, Portcom is Portcom, or Capcom is Portcom. That's what I call them. So I think that we're going to see Devil May Cry on the Switch at some point. I'm just happy from this interview, from what I read. He didn't say go out there and beg for the game again. So he didn't ask us to port beg. He just says he wants to see it. Hopefully we see something in the future, and we'll have to wait and see. So you guys want to see Devil May Cry on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for this RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.